Well, a very good evening to each and every one of you joining us here for this week's episode of Your Manchester. How the heck are you?
I'm great, but isn't it quiet?
It's very quiet.
I know, no studio audience this week.
Nope, none at all. It was a mad week, wasn't it?
Oh, but it was fabulous. A great way to celebrate our first birthday show.
It is. It was wonderful. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Was you all right with it? Was you calm afterwards?
I had a few shandies.
I had a lot of shandies, to be fair. I didn't know where I was the next day.
And you know, if they haven't seen it, well, you need to be watching it so you can go back and watch last week's episode.
That's right. And you can also subscribe and dingle-dongle on this dingle-dongle bell right there.
She loves a dingle-dongle.
I live me dingle-dongle bell. I really, really do. But back to tonight's episode, we have got another full show for you, haven't we?
Oh, it's absolutely jam-packed. We've got Salford Pride. They're going to be talking to us a bit later on.
And we're also going to be making hats.
I love a hat.
We really are.
Does that mean we're going to a wedding?
It's going to be fascinating, isn't it?
See what he did there.
See what he did there. Where can they find all that?
Only on
Your Manchester.
Well, we're very excited because we have got a fabulous exhibition to talk about and some wonderful photographs, all courtesy of the wonderful Allie and Joni.
How are you both? Are you? This is all very exciting, isn't it?
It is absolutely fantastic.
You've been going for a while now with your lovely art that you do, haven't you?
Yes, I've been working on You Brought Your Own Light, this series, for about 2 years.
And what made you want to get into doing this project?
I met Kim Lana Black in Hebden Bridge.
Uh-huh.
And I was a photographer who liked how we construct gender and the performance of gender. And Kim was just the most fascinating person I'd met. So I started shooting her. She introduced me to Olivia Fisher. And it just kept going. So I thought, why not document, create an archive of trans people around the Northwest?
And you've been doing this in a studio, haven't you? So people have come into the studio, and then how do you get the best out of them as a photographer? Because it must be hard to get them to relax, I suppose.
So I'm shooting at home in natural light.
Yeah.
Because it's not commercial work with kind of lights where I don't pose people. I ask them to come as themselves and to be authentic and to be prepared to drop the mask. I think it helps that I'm at home because they kind of feel welcomed into my house.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I am open, and I'm just hoping that other people respond the same way, and it's trying to build trust quite quickly.
So what response do you want from your pictures then?
I want them to be raw,
Right.
I guess, to show humanity, to be honest. I don't quite know how the project started that way, but actually it's become really important to say to people, you don't have to dress up, it's okay if you want to.
Yeah.
But I want you to come as yourself, and it's a chance to be seen and valued as yourself, and not to have to create a kind of an artifice, or to wear that mask that we all wear every day just to get through life. So it's kind of giving someone the opportunity to be valued for who they really are.
And is that what you felt, Joni, when you posed?
Absolutely. It's what she engenders as a process is very, very disarming. Because being a trans person, you're constantly on the defensive of what's happening around the corner, who's going to perceive me this way, am I going to be welcome here, do I have to avoid that, so on and so forth. All those guards went down immediately, and it was a very, very relaxed process.
And what was it like seeing those photographs on display in the exhibition? Because you exhibited last summer, didn't you, for 9 weeks?
Yeah, in Manchester.
Yeah. What was that like for you to see,
Really intimidating.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, empowering, but very intimidating. It's like,
But to see other people's responses.
I work in the city as well, so going to the opening night, it was all very pleasant. There was lots of wine flowing, which was wonderful.
Always.
All the models were there, so it was a load of fun. But what I found more enjoyable was pop your back on a lunch break and just sitting
And absorbing,
watching
was it?
people come in and go and see who they'd stop and watch or who they would focus on, because people would walk through, but then they'd be drawn back to one or two in particular. It was just really, really interesting.
It sounds really strong and really powerful, and I know that you've got some other projects now that you're working on as a result of that.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Yeah. So I'm still shooting You Brought Your Own Light. It's not finished, and if anyone actually wants to sit, I'm going to kind of plug it and say, please, get in touch. But I've started to think maybe it would be nice to leave the studio, for me, go out there, and start to shoot more trans people and the kind of wider LGBT community as well, just in their own lives, in their own spaces, in their jobs, homes, families.
So you must feel very passionate about it. For what reason are you so passionate about this particular area?
I had a very abusive childhood, and trans women were part of the abuse. So I think when I first started to shoot trans women, I think in a way I was trying to explore something for myself, and I kept saying to people, drop the mask. And I guess, in a funny way, maybe I was looking to understand that kind of behaviour, those kind of motives. It's immensely therapeutic because everyone who sat spontaneously started to talk about forgiveness. And when you keep getting that message over and over, and you kind of feel that's for me, isn't it? And I've become way more at peace with my kind of own childhood as well.
And it's changed, I imagine, your perceptions from that childhood, yeah?
Yeah, because when you ask someone to drop the mask, I met humanity, I met kindness. I had to tell people who'd sat for me, this may come out in my book, this idea that it's a personal journey as well. And people like Joni have just been the most supportive. Yeah. And because it's a risk telling someone, isn't it? It's like, no, what if they go, that's, but it's actually, no.
If people do want to sit for you, how would they get in contact with you?
They could just click on my website, which is allie-crewe.uk, or I'm obviously on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. I'm not hard to find.
I just think it's fantastic. We are going to have to leave it there, unfortunately.
Oh, I know, it is fantastic. And please do come in, because I do know that project, as you say, is ongoing. So when you've, shot some more people, and also when the book comes to fruition, which I know will be happening, very soon.
It will. Well, might take a year, but we're working on it.
I'm sure it'll be worth every single page, though.
Absolutely incredible. Thanks, Joni.
Thank you very much, Joni. Thank you very much, Ali. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed that. Oh, I won't fall over.
Should we go and see some hats?
We'll go see some. I just fell over then. Did you not witness that?
Oh,
Look at this being made over here.
Fabulous.
Oh, it's our Barnaby, everybody.
Hello, how's it going?
Wow.
How are you?
I'm not bad, how are you?
What have we got here today then, other than a collection of gorgeousness?
Well, we're going to try and do 3 little things if we can today.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you how to make a hat block, which is the starting point of any hat.
Cool.
Right.
I'm going to teach you how to play around with cinema and make a little twist decoration, which you'll see on quite a lot of hats, including like royal wedding hats.
We'll have our own hats.
This is amazing.
And finally, and most excitingly, we're going to make a little butterfly hat for Belinda. She can model hopefully later on.
Absolutely fantastic. But Barnaby, tell us a little bit about yourself, because we went straight into that, seeing these exciting hats.
Yeah.
I know. So how long have you been making hats? You're a milliner.
Yes, I am a milliner. I've only been doing it for about 1.5 years, but I was a drag queen at one point. I worked on Canal Street.
I can't stand them. It's not natural, is it? I tell you.
It's like a healthy progression to millinery from drag.
So how did you get into it? Had you been making hats for yourself as a drag queen?
Well, when I was doing drag, I was wearing stuff like this. I rarely had my face out.
That reminds me very much of the Alexander McQueen.
It does,
Do you know what I mean?
actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd look good in that.
What, because it covered my face?
Yeah.
So it's an improvement.
Do you like it? What's that made of?
Well, when I was a drag queen
Yeah.
on Canal Street, I literally bodged all my stuff. I bought Halloween masks and I got a hot glue gun and just put expensive fabric in, as you can see. don't zoom in. That's how I made it.
That's the way it's done these days,
Yeah.
It's
isn't
hot
it?
glue and desperation.
It is.
Fabulous.
But, we've
Okay.
progressed, and now we use like natural materials like straw and
So-
cinnamon.
Again, why so passionate about hats? Why not costumes in general? Why hats specifically?
I think because I'm so interested in sculpture and I'm kind of like abstract art, I think that putting something on your head, it doesn't really serve a purpose, it's just like decoration. So with like costume, it's kind of got like history in like different places, and it's like, it's not really what I'm drawn to. I'm drawn to line work, abstract kind of like shapes, and just plonking something on your head, something that like goes well with the human face. I've always been obsessed with head.
Oh,
Well, I'm dying to get stuck into this. Are
well,
you?
I am. I think we should kind of start off and then leave you to do a little bit of work in your magic, and then maybe we can come back and
All right,
look
yeah.
at what
Go
you've
on
done.
then. Where are we starting?
Well, I'll show you first of all how we get a block. So you must have seen hats that are like little buttons like this.
I have.
Right.
Yes.
And then you get stuff all around them, like you get crinoline and bits and bobs to make it into a fascinator or like a cocktail hat. So first of all, you need this material here. I'm scared I'm going to burn myself with this.
It's okay.
I'm going to push that away.
Is that on?
It is on. It's
Okay,
ready to
be
go.
careful, Shel.
I will.
All right, safety in
I
the
don't even know
workplace.
what that is.
It's an iron.
Is it?
Okay.
It's for making hats, so that's all it does, I think. So you buy cinnamon rolls like this.
Yes.
You pull it out to the length of the block you're going to use, cut around it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it with 4 pieces, so it's structured and nice and strong, so you can hold loads of stuff on it.
Yeah.
You pop them underneath your block,
Yeah.
and then you get busy with the steam.
Oh.
Ooh.
You can use any iron really, like it
Oh.
just takes a bit longer if you've got one of these. I've got a giant steam generator at home, which is...
Glad you finished that sentence off.
I've got a what?
Giant.
Oh, okay, I see what you're doing.
This is why I don't use irons, because they look dangerous.
I have my friend Consuela come in once a week. She does
Yeah.
it for me, yeah.
Oh, I have
It's
my
all good.
husband.
You should just pop this on your things to do list, like just make me a hat like, in between your shirts.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you do commissions then
Yes,
for these
I
hats?
do commissions, as well as doing kind of crazy stuff like just like rabbit mask and things like that. I also do like Mother of the Bride, and yeah, I've got a few Mother of the Bride this year.
And what's this one?
I made this. Well, I didn't make it especially for you, but I thought you would like this little sperm piece on your head today.
Yeah.
Oh, can you get it in there?
It's on.
There's a lot of hairspray
Hairspray.
going on that.
Yeah, it looks good.
I've got sperm on my head.
It's
it the
lovely.
first time?
No.
On that note, though, should we
It'll
leave
brush out,
you
don't worry.
to do what you're best at? So
I'm going to keep this on all the rest of the
keep
show.
it on, because it seems apt for throwing to our next person.
It does.
Does it?
No, she's all about the glamour and the sparkle that goes on in the world of the wonderful screen.
Who is it?
Of course, it's our Hales, and take a look at what she's got for you this week.
Hi, I'm Hayley and welcome to On The Box. Now, Sandra Oh has hinted that we will see the characters of Eve and Oksana together in the next series of Killing Eve. But she likens it to being in a bad relationship and being unable to leave. An update on X-Men spin-off, The New Mutants. Originally, it was meant to be released 2 years ago, if you remember, but it was put back, so it wouldn't be up against Deadpool 2 in the cinemas. Now, the release date has been put back further because the reshoots haven't actually happened. It's now uncertain as to whether it will be released in cinemas, and there's actual talk it may go on to a Disney Channel. The potential new release date is the 2nd of August. Now over to Netflix, and this month the following films will be released: The Perfect Date, Jurassic Park Trilogy, Being the Ultimate Disaster Movie, and The Infiltrator. Now the 1982 film Annie, one of my favourite musicals, that's been back on Netflix since the beginning of April too. Robert Pattinson has actually opened up about the level of secrecy surrounding the next project from director Christopher Nolan. Now, he explained that he's sworn to secrecy, absolutely sworn to secrecy, regarding the follow-up to Dunkirk. He actually got locked in a room to read the script, and he doesn't even have a copy himself, so don't ask him. Now, Coronation Street newcomer Michael Bailey will get a mystery love interest, when he finally arrives in Weatherfield this summer. Along with his brother and his parents, they're moving into number 3. The family will also be welcoming 5th member later this year. Now, soap star Lorna Laidlaw, who you might remember from Doctors, she's going to be playing Mum Aggie. Now, she said that playing Mrs. T on Doctors was a fantastic and a great woman to play, but she's completely and utterly different from the character she's playing in Corrie, and she's really excited to be playing someone different. Now, that's it from me. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Well, wasn't that good news?
Oh, it absolutely
I
was.
love a bit of Annie. I can't believe it's still on Netflix, you know. That's amazing,
I know,
isn't
why
it?
didn't you get the part?
I know, I should have done, shouldn't I? Look, you've done it.
I know, so it starts to look a little bit more like a hat now.
Yes.
From those flat pieces of cinema to a little button. So there is one I've made earlier.
Yes.
I love that line.
Yeah, I know, I've been waiting
Look
all
at
day
this.
to say it. So what you do is, it will be the same with any size you do, but this just happens to be a
You
little
look like you
one.
need muscles for this job.
Well, I've already prepared it so it would be a little bit easier on camera because I didn't want to see you break a sweat.
He knows you too well.
Don't break a sweat unless I'm waiting in the queue at KFC, I'll be honest with you.
So as you can see,
Look!
and it's
Fabulous.
super light, feel that, so you can see that's going to be on your head,
Be on
and
your
that's
head.
just enough to anchor anything that you want to put on your head.
Look at that.
Oh, it is.
What's this then?
Well, I pre-made this for
Yeah.
you. So this is my little thing I had in mind for you, Belinda. A little butterfly button there.
Right.
Gorgeous,
And I'll pop that on a glittery
absolutely.
headband for you at the end. But we've only got a little bit of time, so I'll show you one last thing, which is how to make a curl.
Lovely.
So let's get that iron back on.
Okay. Plugging it back in. He's plugging it back in just so everybody knows.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes.
That's where I was.
Right. Then what do I do?
Take a Sharpie.
Take a Sharpie. Do you want to do this?
No, you go for it.
You wrap it all around.
Wrapping it around.
This is just a long, thin strip of cinema, which we were
So we're
using
making
as
it
well.
like in a chord shape, are we?
Yeah, all the way around like that.
Right.
You could have been on Blue Peter.
I know, I should have been. Missed my calling, haven't I?
Absolutely.
Missed my calling altogether.
Then put it flat, down on here,
Yeah.
and
Right.
steam. I don't want to burn you.
I don't know how it's done.
Oh, that scares me, that does.
Is that burning you? Are you all right?
No, it's
All
not.
right. I like a 3rd-degree burn here at, lunchtime.
You get the idea.
Oh, and it curls like that, look.
Are you holding that together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not actually, look.
It's all right.
That's all right, isn't it?
Well, that's when I did it a little bit close because I'm brave.
Oh, fab.
And there we go. You've got a little bit of a curl, and again, that's another little detail. It goes, maybe not with this hat,
Yeah.
but it goes with, it would go with any like wedding.
There's another man that likes dressing up, you know.
Oh, yes.
He really does like a dressing up, and he's been
He
out and
does.
about again.
Well, he's the man that can.
Should we go and see him?
Come on, let's
Come on,
go
let's
and
go and have
see
a word of our
Colin.
titters.
We will be back
We'll
for
be
those
back.
curls
I'm looking
later.
forward to seeing the end result now, I am. I really,
yeah,
really am.
I've not got a hat.
You've not got a hat.
What's that all about?
Well, because I don't know, maybe it's a hint about my hair or something. Who knows? Who knows?
Oh, Colin, it's good to see you, lovely.
So where have you been this time then, please?
Well, I went over to, just near Woodford, is the Avro Air Museum at the
Ooh.
old Woodford Aerodrome.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't even know that existed.
Well, it's only been open since about 2015.
Right.
And it's run by enthusiasts, and by gum are they enthusiastic. A Manchester chap.
Yeah.
He's called Elliot Verdon Rowe.
Easy for you to say.
It's easy for me to say. He was born in Peel Green,
Yeah?
which, if you don't know where that is really just across the Ship Canal from the Trafford Centre nowadays.
Right.
He was born in 1877 and the son of a doctor. And whilst in the Navy, he went in the Merchant Navy, he was fascinated by the albatrosses. And so he got this fascination for flight. And he was an engineer.
Right.
And in 1910, him and his brother
Humphrey.
Humphrey,
So
They
word name that's not
opened-
used enough
yeah.
these days.
they opened the Avro Works, making planes, actually here in the centre of Manchester, at a mill just along the canal here, on Great Adcock Street.
That close?
As close as that. Actually.
So can you see these aircrafts then?
Right, that was the sort of like back in the days of those magnificent men in the flying machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the museum, you actually, they are replicas that are up there,
Yeah.
and they're held up in,
In the
strung up to
air,
ceiling,
yeah.
Are there any you can get in to explore?
Right. Well, when you arrive at the gate, at the front door, you charge, it's £8 admission, and then there's £2 per cockpit visit each. Basically, there is the V10, there's the Vulcan, and there is the Lancaster bomber.
Right.
And so it is worth paying.
It's worth paying for the cock.
£2 cockpit.
So we had to go for that.
Yeah. For the cockpit.
Why do they call it a cockpit?
You know what? I've got no idea whatsoever.
Let us know why you think they call it a cockpit. I'd be intrigued to know.
Now, the Lancaster bomber, I mean, it's got the all romanticised, really. The war moves and this and
Yeah.
that. It is so cramped.
Seriously?
Yeah, and you can imagine that they flew over to Germany and back. it must be an 8-hour flight, all cramped in there, to, and I don't know how they managed it really, because it must have been awful, really. But they were at Warsaw, they did everything.
Oh, well, it sounds absolutely magnificent in terms of, taking kids down there and kind of showing them what planes used to be like.
And there's a lovely little screen there where you can actually choose a programme and land a plane.
Oh, I like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I had 2 goals in it.
Yeah.
I was very successfully landed one of the Lancaster bombers.
Right, note to self, don't send you a actual plane flying.
Oh, no.
No, but where are you going to be going next?
Where are you going next?
I mean, next one, all being well, I'm having a tattoo done.
Oh.
Shut up.
So
Okay.
Oh, this time.
Colin, you're having a tattoo?
Where are you having it?
On my chest.
And then we'll say no more about it, because I've seen what it looks like, and it is quite literally beautiful. It really is.
Look at this.
Hey? You gobsmacked, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
It's absolutely going to be gorgeous.
With the tattooist's permission, I will film varying degrees of pain over the 2 hours.
Love
Do
it.
a little snippet for next week, and hopefully show you the finished
Are you having us too on your chest, next to your heart?
Okay,
next to me heart.
so
He is.
you could have us on your neck, and we could be a permanent pain in your neck then, couldn't we? Hey? Yes.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
Thank you very much, Titters. You've been absolutely wonderful.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta, Titters. Oh, right, it's time to bring on now our final guest for this evening. And of course, Pride season is amongst us. So let's have a little word about a wonderful Pride, simply called Salford Pride. Salford Pride.
Yes.
It has so far been quite good, hasn't it?
Yeah, you might recognise it as the Pink Picnic.
Yes.
So obviously we're changing our names a little bit, so we're branching out a little bit more.
Uh-huh.
So Salford Pride, but we are still delivering the Pink Picnic again in June this year.
Yes.
Oh, lovely. So what are the dates for Salford Pride, first and foremost?
Yeah, so it's actually the 22nd of June in Peel Park, as it always has been.
So what is actually going to be on there then?
Well, we've got quite a lot of local acts who are performing as well this year, as well as the headline acts that you might have seen on social media.
Who is your headline act for anybody who doesn't know yet?
So we've got 5 headline acts.
Oh.
So far, we've got Surrey, who's our Eurovision entry from
Yeah.
Wonderful.
We have Lloyd Daniels.
Yes.
We love Lloyd on this show.
We have Jordan Gray.
Yes.
Who's the voice as well. We have Kelly Wilde.
Yes,
And we have...
obviously.
We have Living Joy with their new frontrunner.
Really?
We do, yeah.
This is
Very
brilliant.
Wow.
I know, that is a great lineup.
And why do you think these events are more popular these days now?
I think because it's more family based, a lot of people, like, if they can't go to the prides in the town centres and things, they'll come and have a nice picnic in the park. You can bring your own food, you can bring your own blankets, make a massive day of it, which is just brilliant.
I think obviously the elephant in the room is the fact it's free. So
Yes.
obviously, we charge nothing to be there. You literally just rock up anytime between 1 o'clock and 8 o'clock that night, and it's all there. So all the items free, it's all delivered by volunteers. We give all our time for free. It's free. Obviously, we do have some new elements this year. So I mentioned obviously the youth zone.
Yeah.
But people can ask. We have a VIP tent this year as well, which
Yes.
has been supported by Absolute. So anyone can buy a ticket, which is £20, which we think is quite cheap.
Yeah.
And for that, you'll get your first 3 drinks, which is provided by Absolute.
First 3 drinks, is
First
that?
3, yeah.
Wow.
So Mancunian can't say 3 very well. But
3 for free.
Yes.
There you go. So once again, the dates when it's on are?
It's Saturday the 22nd of June from 1 o'clock in Peel Park, Salford.
I can't tell you how much everybody should go and witness.
Well, I
this
am definitely
particular
going to
Pride.
go. I
It's
really am
wonderful.
going to go this year. You have absolutely sold it to me. It sounds like a fantastic event. And where have I been those years where I've missed it?
And once again, it's one for the family.
It
Oh,
is.
absolutely.
So you can involve everybody in it. It's great.
I mean, we've got a theme park. We've got
We've
got some playground rides. That's better.
She was about to panic then going, how are we going to do the theme park?
Absolutely. Yeah. Your marketing, you figure it out.
Bringing Disney to Peel Park. Why not, eh? Yeah, there you go.
Why not?
Wonderful.
Oh,
right
wow.
then, speaking of different things,
Yes.
let's go and look at the finished creation of this, shall we?
We will do.
Thank you very much to the pair of you. Thank you.
Maybe you can wear it at Salford Pride.
I might just do that.
Exactly,
Come on, let's go
exactly.
and have a
Thanks
look.
again, Sarah.
Thank you.
Graham.
Cheers. Thank you. I am intrigued. You've been beavering away all through the show.
I really haven't. I think I've ever made a hat so fast in my life.
Oh, that looks fabulous.
Look at
So-
that.
There we go. Belinda's butterfly. We finally got there in the end. So that's the button on a band and the little decoration I brought in. But I decided against the twist. I mean, yours was looking a little bit
Limp.
yes.
I think the simpleness of that is brilliant, and that colour really pops.
And
Yeah.
I thought it'd be very you.
Did you make the butterfly?
I made it just before, but it's all made out of materials that we've been playing with today, so it's very easy to do.
That's
at
made
home.
out of the same stuff as that, is it?
It is, yeah. It's all cinema. just with a bit of wiring and a bit of thermoplastic for detail.
I just think it's fascinating. I know I didn't mean that. I mean that literally.
No, it's when you see what goes into it and how things are created, it's like, wow, you don't actually appreciate it, that all that work
goes into it.
Yeah.
So if you ever want a proper class, I am aiming to start teaching little millinery classes around.
Oh, that's a really good idea, that.
We'd love
Is it
that.
kind of like for any ages, or?
Well, I'm hoping to do like a more informal kind of salon where people can come and bring things that they want to work on, and I could just kind of like half teach them, half kind of like advise them, and then eventually I'll have more of a structured course eventually.
Great.
So I've got a hat. I'm wearing one on my head already.
We've got a butterfly for Belinda.
Butterfly for Belinda.
A mask for Michelle, maybe.
I don't know what that says, though. What does that say about me?
Well, you could be a
We'll
cute
give
bunny
you a
rabbit.
mask.
It's a little bit gothic,
Oh,
but
go
I'm
on.
sure it'll suit you. It's Ariana Grande.
Oh, right.
And it just sits under your eyes like that. Look at that.
Lovely.
What do
Very
you think?
sexy indeed.
I think we should do our outro from this.
Okay,
First of all,
absolutely.
a big thank you to our Barnaby.
No worries.
From, what's the company?
It's Barnaby Horn, which is at Barnaby Horn on Instagram. And I'll be doing all my information about my course and stuff on there. And you can order anything that you see here, or like any bespoke creation. You can collaborate and make something fab, I'm sure.
Oh,
Well,
fabulous.
I'm made up. Let's do our outro with our special act. You're going to take me eye with you.
Yeah,
I
you've
know
got to be
that.
a bit more considerate.
Hey? Well, that's it for today's episode, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, click on the dingle dongle bell. Till we meet again, from me, Shel, and our lovely Barnaby. Thanks for watching this episode of
Your Manchester.
It's great. It's really lovely.